There are ancient stories told thousands of times, yet the more you hear them, the colder they make you feel. As if behind the innocent fairy tale lies a secret never revealed. Among them is a legend that has never rested, an endless battle between two ancient forces, Son Tin and Thuy Tinh. Since the dawn of time, when heaven and earth were still unclear, when humans lived sheltered by harsh nature, two opposing powers existed. One was the mountain, towering and steady-like, a pillar of the sky. The other was water, gentle but fierce, able to sweep everything away in an instant. From the intersection of humans and gods, of love and fate, a fierce war broke out. It was not just a fight for a princess. It was the clash of two beings, two souls with absolute power. One was Lord of the Forests, who could make mountains rise in a moment. The other was King of the Seas, who could summon rain and flood with a wave of his hand. Both wanted to win the heart of Princess My Nuong, and the result was a war that shook the southern realm. Have you ever wondered? Why every year the waters rise? Why the floods rage as if someone is screaming from the depths? Perhaps it is not just a natural phenomenon, but the echo of a grudge that never fades. Step into the legend of Son Tin, Thuy Tinh, where mountains are raised not by human hands, and every flood is the ghost of Thuy Tinh returning to collect 1,000-year debt. Back then, when the Van Lang kingdom was newly formed, people lived in harmony with forests and rivers. But few knew that among humble mortals appeared two extraordinary figures, not humans, but beings with powers beyond human understanding. The first was Son Tin, the god of mountains. Since childhood, he dwelled deep in the wilderness, able to summon beasts to his side, make trees grow at will. Wherever his hand touched, earth and stone shifted, hills rose to the sky. The wind followed his steps, birds sang loudly as he passed. People said he did not just live in the forest, he was the forest itself. The second was Thuy Tinh, born from the ocean depths, his face like a stormy monsoon wind, his eyes cold as winter lake water. He could wave his hand to summon rain, and floods, turn gentle rivers into raging dragons. Beneath his feet, waters churned, thunder roared. People called him Lord of the Tides, the one who could drown everything when his anger flared. Both were ancient incarnations, one representing steadfastness, the other symbolizing upheaval. A strange fate brought them both to the capital of Phong Chau, just as King Hung was choosing a husband for Princess My Nuong, a girl as beautiful as the dawn after rain. It was no ordinary meeting. It was a confrontation of two opposing forces, two faces of nature, two gods, each wanting to claim a single heart. And when love cannot be shared, fate must choose one. But fate is not easily accepted by gods. Princess My Nuong, beloved. Daughter of the 18th King Hung, was famous across the land for her pure beauty and gentle wisdom like morning dew. It was said that when she smiled, even flowers stopped blooming out of shyness. But My Nuong was not only beautiful, she symbolized peace, a hope that linked humans and nature. For his daughter, King Hung held a contest far and wide for suitors. Heroes, talents, even those with strange powers gathered in Phong Chau. Among them, the two most outstanding were Son Tin and Thuy Tinh. Both came, expressed their love for My Nuong, and displayed powers that amazed the court. Son Tin drew mountains in the dragon yard with his hand, making trees grow green in an instant. Thuy Tinh waved his hand, water flooded the jade palace, rain danced sparkling in sunlight. My Nuong was confused, both talented, both worthy, but her heart leaned to one side. Son Tin, who breathed the earth's breath, the steadfastness, of forests and mountains, with eyes warm like the evening fire. King Hung did not want to offend the other, so he set a difficult condition. Tomorrow, whoever brings 9 tusked elephants, 9 spurred roosters, and 9 red-maned horses will marry the princess. The next day, before dawn, Son Tin arrived with the gifts and took My Nuong to Tan Vien Mountain amidst the forest's music. But just a moment later, Thuy Tinh came, 1 step late, and that single step late wrote a 1,000-year grudge. Thuy Tinh's face turned pale with rage. The sky suddenly darkened. He said nothing, only raised his hand. and from the east, a great flood began to surge. Water from the sea, rivers, and dark clouds poured into the capital. Earth and sky shook. Thunder roared. The fury of a rejected god officially began. It was no longer jealousy, but a declaration of war between two primal forces, mountain and water. The rain poured like pouring buckets. Wind howled through ancient forests. The red river rose red and fierce, raging like a fiery dragon struggling. In the darkness of black clouds, Thuy Tinh flew up, waving his water staff, eyes glowing like two wet coals. I came first. Only. A breath late, and because of that breath you stole her from me? His roar echoed far, deep into the earth. Immediately earth cracked and sky trembled. The sea roared fiercely. Waves as tall as mountains crashed into the northwest forests. The first great flood in Van Lang history began. Thuy Tinh, now with My Nuong on Tan Vian Mountain, could not stand by. Standing atop the mountain, he raised his hand to summon all creatures. Dense trees grew, earth and stone shifted, new mountains rose layer by layer, giant walls to fight the floodwaters. The two gods now truly faced each other. Water rose, mountains stood tall, waves surged, hills rose. Thuy Tinh summoned thunder and lightning, causing floods and landslides. Thuy Tinh responded by raising sharp rocky mountains that blocked the currents and funneled the floods into deep pits. The battle was fierce and reshaped the Vietnamese landscape. Valleys vanished, new mountains appeared. Rivers changed course, forests were torn apart. The whole of nature seemed to brace itself against the wrath of the gods. People fled in panic. King Hung offered sacrifices everywhere, praying for the gods to cease. But Thuy Tinh anger was not easily calmed. That year, floods nearly swept away the capital. Yet Thuy Tinh, with endless strength, kept raising the mountains higher, stopping the wild waters step by step. After many days and nights, Thuy Tinh power waned. The waters receded, the waves ceased, the sky cleared, but he did not disappear. He silently withdrew to the ocean's depths, leaving a chilling vow. Each year, I will return, and every year, I will make this land remember me. Since then, every flood season, people say Thuy Tinh has come back. Floods surge like an ancient memory awakened, and Thuy Tinh, never leaving Mount Tan Vian, always stands ready to defend humanity from the sea's fury. But who can be sure that one day Thuy Tinh won't return with greater power? Could the struggle of love, jealousy, and power tear the sky and earth apart? The war never ended. It only rests. The old say, July rains, floods come, that is Thuy Tinh rage. But is that just a folk saying, or the echo of an unbroken curse? No one knows for sure. Only that each flood season, when rivers overflow and lowlands drown, people whisper, the battle of Thuy Tinh and Thuy Tinh continues unseen but fierce. This legend seems like a children's tale, but it holds the deep wisdom of ancient Vietnam. Living with nature, humans cannot conquer it but must coexist and adapt. Thuy Tinh, symbol of the high mountains, of resilience, is the image of the old Vietnamese community, never yielding to nature's destructive force. Thuy Tinh, the raging waters, is the ever-present danger. Floods, storms, unexpected trials faced through generations. The story is not merely a contest for love. It is an eternal conflict between two opposing forces, stability and change, endurance and destruction, reason and emotion. In the middle of this battle, My Nuong is no longer just a princess, but a symbol of hope, the very thing both mountain and water long to protect: life, peace, and unity. Therefore, the legend of Thuy Tinh and Thuy Tinh is not just a fairy tale. It is an eternal warning. It reminds us that no matter how great humans are, they always stand on the fragile edge of nature. And resilience, wisdom, and unity are the only ways to survive the fury of heaven and earth. As for Thuy Tinh curse, perhaps it is not in thunder or floods, but in humanity forgetting who they are, a part of nature, not its master. When humans forget that, the 1,000-year war will begin again. Through countless generations, the battle between Thuy Tinh and Thuy Tinh remains in the Vietnamese heart as part of their homeland's very essence. No history books record it, no clear traces remain, but everyone knows it is truth as legend. Always lives within the people. On the rice fields and winding rivers near ancient villages, every flood season recalls the image of the angry sea god. In the majestic mountains of the northwest, people believe Thuy Tinh still dwells, silent, steady, guarding the motherland against storms from the ocean. Perhaps this battle will never end, because it is not only in mythology, but lives on, in every Vietnamese heart, as a symbol of the unending struggle to protect life, love, and eternal values. The legend closes, but whenever storms arrive, whenever floods rise, listen quietly through the rain, you will hear Thuy Tinh and Thuy Tinh fighting again, not to destroy each other, but to remind us that to survive, humans must be steadfast like mountains and understand the power of water.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. If you found the video helpful and interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Wishing you a wonderful day, and see you in the next video.